We at least get started for once, at least?
Yep.
Let's do it.
The MegaMets podcast is back as we dissect the Giants and Jets and how they flopped this year, and then we'll go into our Super Bowl predictions.
Yeah, I'm going to have a short where I'm going to show off the wild card spots, and then I'm going to have my viewers place their bets.
That's fine.
Yeah, I know, because let me tell you, it was just fucking dry. How am I gonna feel regarding the Giants season? Because like I mentioned already many times over.
Well, their coaching just went through a fire sale today.
Oh, really? On Black Monday?
Brian Dable's sticking around. It's Wink Martindale, Bobby Johnson, and Thomas McGahee that are gone. There was a falling out between Kafka and Dable, and that's why Kafka resigned.
Oh, that sucks. At least he did not get the pink slip.
Yeah, I just wish Kafka had gotten the boot.
He should have, honestly.
Because now this team needs to rebuild its coaching staff. Sans Dable from the ground up. Essentially, Shane and Dable, your asses are on the clock next season. Get right, yes. Pay the price.
Oh, yes.
I mean, 6-11 because you let the playbook stagnate. Johnson caused many of the front line to regress because the son of a bitch couldn't read a stunt or a spin.
And what else?
And Daniel Jones just got basically turned into cannon fodder because of the lack of blocking.
I still cannot get over the fact that the Giants drafted Daniel Jones in the first round. He could have been a second-round pick.
For that, not blame Gettleman for that.
I know, but if anything, even though Gettleman is not with the Giants anymore, he should still take some of the blame because some of his garbage has been left behind.
Well, he hit on some of his draft picks. I mean, Barkley, Andrew Thomas, Dexter Lawrence.
Well, some of his picks were good, but the rest were just meh.
It was free agency where Gettleman fucked up.
Yeah, I know. Like how he fucks up everything else. He fucked up Eli Manning. I could never forgive him for that.
Neither could I. But then again, for as much of a fuck up was in New York, he's a far cry from how much a piece of shit fuck up David Tepper is down here in Carolina.
Let's not get started on that because, David Tepper was actually fined $300,000 for basically throwing a drink at fans.
I know about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, basically throwing Bryce Young to the Wolves. It would have been better to just let them start Andy Dalton this year and leave Bryce on the bench to learn from Dalton, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, getting back on topic. For the Jets, on the other hand, they put their eggs in the Aaron Rodgers basket.
And guess how that went? It went
75
badly.
seconds. I know.
55 fucking
75.
75 fucking seconds. Oh, my God. You put all your eggs.
They made the same mistake 15 years ago that they made with Brett Favre, and it blew up in their face a lot sooner this year.
How much you want to bet that Aaron Rodgers will end up in Minnesota like Favre did?
After next year, more than likely.
Yeah, and then we can start making the jokes again. Because, my God, comparing their win-loss records is a no-brainer. Sure, the Jets were better at 7-10, but being 7-10 doesn't mean shit if you can't even make the playoffs.
And once again, they get a top 10 draft pick.
Yeah. And do you want to know something really hilarious? The Bears got the first overall pick, and they didn't need to tank that hard.
Well, duh, because David Tepper's a fucking idiot.
Of course he is.
I mean, you do not give away three draft picks, your 2023 first round, which would have been at the 9th slot, your 2023 second round, and your 2024 first round for the top prospect in the fucking draft.
And guess how that went?
The same way it went for them in 01 with Chris fucking Winky.
Oh, yes, it ended badly. Jesus
the only game
Christ.
the Panthers looked competent was their Christmas Eve loss to Green Bay.
I know. Looking back through the Giants and Jets seasons, I can say that, they had ups and downs. But the Giants, in my opinion, had more downs than ups because I'm looking through their schedule, and they basically had times where they lost 4 straight, and then they lost 3 straight, and then they win 3 straight, and then they lost 3 straight again. The Jets, on the other hand, however, they would lose 3 straight, win 3, but then they would lose 5 straight. 5 straight losses in a row. And that,
And
I
that
believe,
was
was
at a
the
point
problem.
where people were calling them a sleeper team. A team who, while they sucked on defense, offensively, defensively, this team looked like they weren't going to go down without a fight. You saw that even in games they lost, like with games against Kansas City, games against New England the first time, even though that was a shit heap.
Yeah, it was. They lost by 5 points. That's embarrassing.
And yet their season started on a very Pyrrhic note with that punt return win against Buffalo on 9/11 because of Aaron.
Indeed. It was a Pyrrhic victory at best. They won the game, but they paid a big price.
And Zach Wilson, the big MILF chaser, can't do jack and shit.
He can't, which means they're going to have a lot of work to do on the offseason.
Imagine they cut him and get another quarterback with that 10th pick, something they don't need right
Then
now.
what would be the point of bringing Aaron Rodgers? What was the point of bringing Aaron Rodgers over from Green Bay if they're going to cut Aaron?
I said cut Wilson.
If they're going to cut Wilson, then what are they going to do? They got to at least draft something. They got to draft a better QB at least, because we don't even know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be cleared for next season.
Yeah, and most people are saying they're going to draft a tight end. I say for the Giants and Jets, draft another tackle.
Yeah, they need improvements on their defense, even though their offense is very good.
Is the offensive front line.
Yeah, they need to improve their defense because their defense has been like toilet paper.
I was talking about the Giants needing to improve the O-line because of how Johnson sabotaged it.
The Giants' O-line has been absolute trash for a while.
I know, but I'm just saying. I mean, at least with the Jets, they got a valid defense.
Yes, they do. The Jets have a valid defense. It's the offense that's their bigger concern.
And that's why I'm saying for the Jets, they need to get an offensive tackle.
Yeah,
not a tight end.
They don't need a tight end. They just need a tackle, and boom, they're set. Sometimes I begin to question the many decisions that they make.
Mm-hmm. Bottom line, I don't care if Robert Saleh has been extended to next year. He's on the clock as much as GM Douglas is for the Jets.
Here's the thing. He's on thin ice. His ass is on thin ice.
I mean, sure, he's no Adam Gase, but Saleh is more of a defensive-minded coach, not an offensive-minded one.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's get to the playoff picture.
We got to start with the wild card first because apparently I'm planning on making a short where I will basically say your bets. You place your bets to see who's going to make it further. So here's what we know about the.
You want to start on the AFC or the NFC first?
Yeah, I'm right now checking on the. Yeah, we have the AFC. I mean, before we begin with this, I want to ask, who the hell were they thinking adding a 7th seed? Why do we need a 7th seed when 6 is only good enough?
Can fodder, causing chaos,
and the fact that Robert Goodell needs more money. Robert Goodell needs more money and more ratings.
And to mitigate tanking claims.
Tanking claims when teams that can't do shit are tanking enough.
Well, I mean, give incentive for bad teams to actually prevent them from tanking is what I was getting at.
Yeah, because over the years, many teams have tanked just to get the first overall pick. Sometimes they don't even try.
You wouldn't believe that if the Giants lost yesterday and that the Patriots, Cardinals, and Commanders won, the Giants would have gotten the 2nd pick in the draft.
Oh, my God. Had the Giants lost, they would have gotten a better pick.
Or they would have gotten actual draft leverage. They could have traded away that pick to go down and get more capital.
Exactly.
Instead, they're stuck in the 6th slot.
Yep, they are.
They better draft Olu Fanashu, or I'm going to get pissed.
Well, I'm not going to be happy if they end up making a mistake. Let's get started.
Okay, in the AFC, we'll work from bottom to top. Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, like I said a couple days before Christmas, the bullshit's real. The Steelers going to the Super Bowl.
The Steelers fucking suck. Sorry, urinating dream, but I'm going to be fucking blunt. They fucking are trash. They only get by because their opponents are complete crap. That's how they're able to make it this far. They should not even be in the playoffs.
And to think, their family the family owns Pittsburgh is tied with the Giants.
Really? I didn't see that coming.
Their owner's kids are married.
Oh yeah, I had no idea. That's new.
I think it's the daughter of the Steelers owner is married to the son of John Mara.
Wow, that's something I never knew about. That's cool. Anyway, okay, so on one side on the AFC we have the Steelers, the other Green Bay. I'm gonna miss something. They did pretty well without Aaron Rodgers.
But still, Tom Grassi was basically getting heart attacks with each of those games.
Jesus Christ!
And I feel sorry for Tom.
Tom don't deserve this.
And he was voted as Packers Fan of the Year this year.
Nice, very nice. Congrats to him. This guy is a dedicated Packers fan, so I can at least relate to that. That's impressive.
Kind of like how Tree is a dedicated Pittsburgh fan, Scooter's a dedicated Cowboy fan.
And don't forget, Brandon Perna is a dedicated Broncos fan. My heart goes out to Perna. I swear to Christ. Yeah, Brandon Perna and all Broncos fans, I send my most deepest sympathies. You do not deserve to deal with what's going on with your team. And after they fired Nathaniel Hackett and replaced it with someone else, the only reason why, and what happened with Russell Wilson? Yeah, that's fucked up. They're going to cut, in my guess, they're going to cut Russell Wilson because they know that if they kept him, that means they're going to have to pay him. But at the end of the day, they're going to pay him regardless.
Yeah, they're going to eat a lot of dead cap.
Yeah. So Broncos, especially to your management, eat your fucking dead cap and like it.
Yeah, eat crow and bear it, you bastards.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think Denver's becoming a new glue factory.
Yeah, I know, and I thought Indianapolis had it worse.
Anyway, I mean, Green Bay was a team that had as many ups and downs as Pittsburgh, but a few more downs than ups. I only saw things starting to turn around after their Thanksgiving win with against the Lions.
Yeah.
And then they went on to win like 2 or 3 in a row, lose to the Giants, and I called that game with Marcos and Evie.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then they lost to the Bucks, had a nail-biter win over Carolina, crushed Minnesota, and then had to edge one out over Chicago.
Wow. What a rough season that was.
Yeah. And the only reason they got in, even if all 3 won, tiebreakers they held over New Orleans and Seattle.
Uh-huh.
Do I see them going far? Fuck no.
No, they're not going to last.
We saw 2 years ago a 7 seed get to the conference title game with the 49ers.
Uh-huh.
And Ben Shelby was mad about that.
Was she really? I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all for what happened.
I wonder if you, her, and I want to collab on the Sunday call between the Packers and Cowboys.
What's the time?
4:30.
I can be there, provided I just only have to do an hour or 2 of work because, yeah. Let's just say that I've been having a bit of anxiety attacks. Yeah, to summarize, because I'm worried for my Omen laptop and all that. I was supposed to get my pay thing. Yeah, because I recently, before we continue, I want to say I recently found out that my MCN that I've been under for almost 10 years may be in trouble. Because I just found out that my pay would be delayed by about 45 days after the month. That's like 75 days total. And something ain't right. And then I learned that there may be something else going on.
A bankruptcy filing, possibly?
A possible bankruptcy filing and a possible lawsuit that's going on. Because I actually spoke to someone who's going to be filing a lawsuit.
Well, that's some smelling rotten in the state of Denmark.
Yeah, it's going to be so bad that I wouldn't be surprised that they let go of everyone. The least they could do is just pay their partner, pay their creators.
Gotcha.
That's why I'm promoting my Ko-fi as of late and PayPal at least, because I'm not going to have enough money left because I got to put money to pay for my extension for my laptop. Gotcha. I need to at least have extension for like about a year or 2 because if they end up letting me go, that means I got to apply for the YouTube partner program. And that means I got to wait 30 days. Because you know how YouTube is.
Yeah, you know how much of a pile of shit they are.
They've always been a pile of shit. And I've dealt with that for almost 18 years.
Moving on. The Miami
You blew it, man.
Seriously,
How do
how
you?
did you do that in the last few weeks of the season? This means that the Dolphins join not just themselves, but the 2023-2024 Philadelphia Eagles, the 1986 and 1987 Jets, and one other team I don't remember, as the fourth team to start the year winning 10 of their first 11, or 11 of their first 12 in this case, and then drop 5 of their last 6, or 4 of their last 5.
Jesus.
So it was 11 of their first 13, but 10 of their first 13. 10 of their first 12. But still end up losing 4 of your final 5 like that. If that punt didn't get returned for a touchdown, that would have been going to overtime last night.
I know.
And they're basically going in with a slew of injuries.
Yeah, the injury bug.
No Jalen Waddle. Devin Achane, a little rickety. Tua's rickety. No Van Grinkle. How are they going to beat Kansas City with those weapons missing?
They're not going to have any chance.
Case in point. On the flip side, the Philadelphia Eagles. You also blew it! But at least I'm happy for that because it keeps the trend in the NFC East going.
Yeah, true.
Again, a team that wins 10 of or 11 of its first 11 or 12. And then comes the game against San Francisco, and everything falls apart. They lose to San Francisco, to Dallas, to Seattle, get a miracle win over the Giants, lose to Arizona, which was fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, it was.
And then lose to us with all the pressure on them. In a game we didn't even need to win. But for the third time in the last 4 years, the Giants have beaten the Eagles at home. We still need a fucking road win, though. Know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, wait. No, they're not the 5 seed. The 6 seed's the Rams. My bad. Sorry. Silly me. My fault.
It's okay.
Los Angeles. This was a team I didn't expect to recover after what happened to them last year. The worst Super Bowl title hangover.
Yeah.
But here they are, 10-7, and we've got a storyline going into primetime on Sunday night.
Wow.
That basically first ever game at Ford Field, playoff game at Ford Field, and the prodigal son returns to prove that was the Lions that were fucking him over, not the other way around.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford. I was happy he got a Super Bowl ring with the Rams after having gone through so much turmoil with Detroit.
Yeah, but will he be able to prove his case if he beats the Lions?
Only time will tell. Will it be victory or will it be retribution for Detroit?
Especially when you consider that essentially with how the Lions have rebuilt themselves the last couple of years, long term, they made off with like thieves in the night for that trade.
Yeah. They got a lot of good pieces, and look where that got them.
Yeah. LA got a good deal out of it, but it was a short-term deal.
But Detroit got long-term, and now look at them.
Mm-hmm.
They actually did it.
5th seed in the AFC, the Cleveland Browns. Who would have thought a team with such quarterback calamity would get to this spot? And with all people, Joe fucking Flacco.
I can't believe they did it. The last time they went to the wild card was when they beat the ever-living shit out of Pittsburgh, and I couldn't stop laughing at urinating trees rage. It was the perfect amount of salt.
And that was the COVID season.
Yes, still, but it was just beautiful salt.
So now Flacco's got a chance to do one thing. If he and his Corey beat the Texans again, they get to go to Baltimore, and he gets a chance at retribution for them throwing him to the curb.
Yep.
And that was a team that he led to the Super Bowl in 2012-13.
Uh-huh.
In the Harbaugh Bowl, as some call
Oh,
it.
yeah, I remember that.
But the problem is, again, you gotta wonder how consistent is that Browns offense. I mean, to be fair, they didn't really have anything to play for yesterday against the Bengals, so they basically threw that game out of pity.
Yeah. I have to agree.
But it's a sign that there may be a chink in the armor.
There may be, but we'll have to see.
We already did the Eagles, so we'll skip them and go to the 4th seed of the AFC.
The Houston Texans.
The team that no one thought would get that.
I never thought we would be seeing them.
Especially with the guy they drafted at number 2, C.J. Stroud, who, in my view, is getting Rookie of the Year reward, no question.
No question, indeed.
From what he was able to take this team, from the crappy Bill O'Brien left it in after the
Bill
2019.
O'Brien is a hack. Yes, I'm saying it. Bill O'Brien is a hack.
Well, he's always been a hack.
He always has been. I'm just going to keep saying it because urinating tree would never stop saying it. Continue.
To basically having to claw their way and basically get in through on the final day through a back door because Jacksonville blew it. But again, they went the Brett Favre 08 route.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck any team that does something that stupid. It should have been C.J. Beathard starting yesterday for Jacksonville, not Lawrence.
Yeah.
But in any case, Houston hasn't hosted a playoff game since just before the pandemic in the 2019-2020 playoffs.
Yeah, but they got embarrassingly blown by Kansas City. That was just tragedy.
Yeah, after they had a 24-point lead get away from them.
And then they blew that. Then we move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Kings of Tank Division.
Yes, the Kings of Tank Division now in the playoffs.
Again,
but they don't have Tom Brady this time, which means they're...
This time it's Baker Mayfield. But will he be able to bake the Eagles into a pie or bake chicken? I'm not sure. But then again, with the injuries to the Eagles, no A.J. Brown, no DeAndre Swift, possibly no Jalen Hurts.
Yep, they're in a serious
I saw that finger injury, and that thing looked ugly.
Oh, my God.
How can Marcus Mariota take up over for that?
I don't know.
Even if Hurts is playing with a splint on that finger, I don't expect him to throw it all that much.
Nope.
I mean, last year, the only thing that kept the Bucs wildcard game amusing was Brett Maher missing all those extra points.
How do you miss that? That's
you saw Taylor.
Oh, I did.
His ass off.
Oh, I freaking did.
Christian Taylor was laughing his ass off. Tom Grossi was laughing his ass off. His dad, who was watching the game with him, was just blowing his stack.
Yup.
Because his dad's a Cowboy fan.
Uh-huh.
And we all feel pity for anyone who's grown up with a parent who's a Cowboy fan. And you're another team's fan.
Yep.
I just don't know if the Bucs have it this time.
I don't know, to be honest.
Moving on to the 3 seeds. The Super Bowl champion Chiefs. Talk about falling off a cliff a bit this year.
And whining like a bunch of fucking babies.
But then again, having Taylor Swift as Travis Kelce's girlfriend and taking half of the chewing up camera time will do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously. I'm praying to God Kansas City does not get to the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, I was at Collision this past Saturday.
Yep.
Granted, I left during the last Ring of Honor tapings.
Damn, how did that went?
Trust me. I would have had to sit through 7 more matches to get through the night, so I left before that got through that.
It was a shit show, wasn't it?
The ROH half, no, yeah. the AEW, the Collision show, it was decent.
I'm pleased to hear that. Anyway, well, along with the number 3 seed in the Chiefs, we have a team I never thought we would end up seeing in the playoffs for so long. The last time this team was in the playoffs was in 1993 during the Clinton administration, the Detroit Lions.
Black as a division champ, yes.
Yes, I never thought we would see this team in the playoffs
As
again
a
because
wild card team, they had made it in 95, 97, I think 99, 11, 15, 14, and 15.
wow, they've had many attempts, but all of them ended in failure.
And since 91, they haven't gotten out of the first round.
I know.
Is this the year they get out of this funk? They finally get that monkey off their backs?
Only I will
Tom is
tell.
going to have his work cut out for him against the man he replaced. Enough said.
Yeah.
Moving on to the 2 seed. A team that was lucky to get the 2 seed in the AFC. Buffalo.
Buffalo are basically teeter-totting for some reason.
I blame that on Josh Allen going overkill with the hero ball.
Yeah, he needs to loosen up.
I mean, seriously, you watch that game against the Jets that opened the year.
Yeah.
Four turnovers. 3 of them picks to Jordan Whitehead. And then a fumble that was recovered by Quinnen Williams. Throw in with how inconsistent he was. I mean, against good teams, he was hit or miss, but against bad teams, he was all over the place.
Yeah. I agree.
As far as I'm concerned, Buffalo does not deserve to be number 2 in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason they are, and for the 4th year in a row, the AFC East champions, pure dumb luck.
Yeah.
Moving on to Dallas, a team you could debate deserved to be the 2 seed and the NFC East Division champions. Granted, they had their own little stumbling block near the end of the year, losing to Buffalo and Miami, and then picking it up against Detroit and Washington. Now, the Detroit game, not without controversy.
Mm-hmm.
And I put emphasis on controversy.
Yep.
Does ref ball favor the Cowboys this time? I don't know. It all boils down to if Mike McCarthy can stop himself from over micromanaging and mismanaging the clock, which has cost him the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Finally, the number 1 seed in the AFC, the Ravens.
I never thought we would see them at number 1. The Ravens has been a bit wonky.
Last year, they were riddled with injuries and snuck in as a 6th seed. This year, they reinserted their dominance. But it boils down to this. Can Lamar Jackson prove he can be the franchise quarterback this team needs and actually win a damn playoff game?
We'll have to see.
That right. Finally, the San Francisco 49ers, the NFC West champions. This team is basically the lone model of NFC consistency from that was left over from last year.
Yeah.
I mean, won their first 5, dropped their next 3, won their next 7, won their next 6, and then dropped 2 of their final 3. I know that's not really consistent, but you get the point.
Yes, we do.
Brock Purdy is MVP count for talent. Christian McCaffrey is him for San Francisco. But there are still some dents that need to be worked out.
They have a lot to fix.
Now we look at the bracket.
The bracket itself is going to be really tough.
First games, Saturday, 4:30. Browns, Texans. Who you got?
I'm on the first day, the bracket at 4:30. That's going to be, yeah, I've got, sorry, Texans, but even though you made it far, my money's on Cleveland.
Experience to win out?
Yeah, experience to win out.
I could see that. Next is a game that infuriates me. Why the fuck is this on Peacock?
Why? They just want that revenue that bad. Why couldn't they just put it on TV? Because you know NFL does really well on the ratings.
Yeah, and the only backdoor streaming service I can use to watch NFL games is Paramount Plus. Anyway,
Yeah,
Dolphins Chiefs, with all the injuries that are riddling the Dolphins, I'm going to say Kansas City.
I'm voting Kansas City. They're the better team if they can remain consistent. And now we reach January 14th. Knowing Urinating Tree, he's going to be streaming this. This is going to be fun.
It's going to be a miracle if the bullshit's real. Mason Rudolph will have his work cut out for him against that Bills defense.
Yeah.
But then again, Josh Allen will have his work cut out for him, though not to the same level with TJ Watt out.
Yep.
So the Steelers really need to compensate.
They really need to stop screwing around and actually play like a team. Because they're not going to last.
Tomlin getting his 17th surplus season in a row.
Yeah.
The only two he is behind now for most consecutive winning seasons, Bill Belichick and Tom Landry.
Yep. Belichick really wants to be the winningest coach. His future with the Patriots is in major doubt.
I think it's better if the Crafts just cut him from both the GM and coaching job.
I agree. So if I were to pick, I'm sorry, Tree, but Buffalo's got you beat.
I have to agree. Drive the elbows through the table. Steelers not going to Super Bowl.
I want to see Tree rage with so much salt. It would be delicious. It would be like a waterfall of salt.
Break out the beers.
Yeah.
Yinzers cry because the bullshit is about to run out.
Yep. And next we move on to Green Bay versus Dallas. AKA, how do I put this? Tom Grossi versus Scooter Magruder. Oh, my God.
A classic rivalry game. It's pronounced Grossi, not Grossi.
Oh, yeah, Grossi versus Scooter. This is going to be a rivalry game. Because these two teams have always had it at each other's throats.
And we even know Papa Grossi is sided with Scooter over his own son.
What the fuck?
Like I said, his dad's a Cowboys fan.
Of course. This is going to end real bad.
Especially if Tom's on the losing end of the stick.
I know. I really can't choose. I really can't decide who's going to end up winning that game.
Knowing us, we better play it safe because Shelby will kill us if we don't go.
Fine, I'm voting Dallas because I'm not going to jeopardize my relationship with her.
Besides, I'm not jeopardizing my friendship with either of you by taking Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas for her sake.
Yeah, because hell hath no fury like the wrath of a woman's scorn.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, Shelby's someone I love so dearly. I'm just waiting to pop the question and be done with it.
Sunday nighter, LA Detroit. Storyline immenses.
Yeah. This is going to be a tough one to say the least. The Detroit Lions are like the underdog, but the Rams are basically trying to hold themselves together.
For my case, blood's thicker than water. My brother-in-law, my nephews are diehard Lions fans. I'm going Detroit.
I am also going Detroit because they need that win more than anything else.
Monday night, Eagles, Bucks.
Eagles will fly. They will soar, and they will win. Tampa does not have Tom Brady anymore. They're pretty much up the creek without a paddle.
I'm calling this as my upset. Raise the Jolly Roger.
Yeah. I'm choosing Philadelphia.
I'll go Tampa.
Oh, enough. Fair enough. Now we reach the divisional round.
We don't know when these games happen, though.
They're going to be on the 20th and the 21st.
and yet two. While one of each will be on CBS or Fox, the other two will be on ABC, ESPN, and I can't figure out why.
I don't know why either. It's just going to be nuts. Hopefully,
49ers would face the lowest seed. For you, that's the Eagles. For me, that's the Bucks.
Yeah, and also San Fran's going to have to face the winner of either looking through it, it's going to be
Its
Philadelphia.
lowest seed will face the 49ers and the Ravens.
Yeah. Yep, the lower seed on the NFC on this side is either Rams or Detroit, and my vote was on Detroit.
And in your case, I mean the lowest seed left is Philadelphia.
Yep.
Mine, it's Tampa.
Uh-huh.
And we all know the 49ers are just going to bury the pickaxes in each of their heads.
Yeah.
As for the Ravens, let's see. Your lowest seed for you was, for both of us, I believe, was the Browns.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to say Baltimore. I mean, Flacco, he may know this team like the back of his hand, but
yeah,
the road through the AFC to Sin City's through Baltimore. Welcome to the Terror Dome. So it is written. Quote the Raven.
Nevermore.
I'm taking the Ravens.
Fair enough. Sorry, Cleveland, but you tried. You're not going to have any chance against a better team.
Now, as for the 3-2 matchups, Dallas against Detroit. Detroit wants vengeance. I'm going to go Detroit. They got gypped.
That's going to be a tough one. Detroit versus Dallas. I'm also going to go Detroit, but that would mean Shelby would kill me because she's a Dallas fan.
And my brother-in-law would kill me, even though he wouldn't really do it because he's a Lions fan.
I know, but I'm going Detroit on this one because Detroit really needs to give it their all here. Mm-hmm. They've been building up this team long term.
And now for the matchup of role reversal. Kansas City against Buffalo. Can Buffalo do what they failed to do in the postseason each of the last 2 times they've beaten Kansas City? And that's beat them in the postseason.
They got to in order for them to end their supposed legacy of failure. They've had a legacy of failure for so long, and it's not counting the fact they've won AFL championships. The only way it ends is if you win the Super Bowl.
Same thing with the Lions.
And the
Browns.
Uh-huh.
If it's heads, I'm going Chiefs. Tails, Bills.
Quit.
Tails, I'm going Buffalo.
I'm also going Buffalo. It's make or break.
Got that right. San Francisco against Dallas. McCarthy better not fuck it up if I'm him.
Oh yeah, I know. If it's of any indication, he already screwed up with Green Bay. Oh my God, this is gonna get ugly fast. I'm sorry, but Jesus.
And especially when you consider the ass whipping Dallas got in Week 5 at the hands of San Francisco.
Oh yeah, I know.
They made Dak Prescott look like a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Shelbs, but I'm taking San Francisco.
Sorry, Shelby, but this has to be done. I also pick San Fran. I have to wonder
how we picked Detroit. Never mind.
Oh yeah, Detroit, which means that it's Detroit against Dallas.
San Francisco.
Oh, Detroit, but for San Fran, which means I'm going to have to pick San Fran because Detroit's not going to have a chance against a much more superior team. But who knows?
Same here. Sorry, Mikey, but you know what? Sorry, Mikey. Mm-hmm. And as for, of course, Buffalo against Baltimore, Baltimore needs to rectify that loss they had in the regular season last year. But then again, last year, they were blowing double-digit leads all across the board. I mean, Week 2 last year to Miami, Week 4 or 5 to Buffalo, Week 6 to us.
Mm-hmm.
Penultimate week to Pittsburgh. Week 14 to Jacksonville.
Uh-huh.
But to hell with it, I'm going Buffalo. Chris Berman, you'll finally get that Super Bowl you bothered us with throughout the 90s.
Yep. Agreed.
Finally, 49ers against the Bills. For the 49ers, a chance to get that 6th ring, or is it their 5th ring?
And Buffalo, a chance to finally end decades of failure. So many attempts that they tried and failed.
Yep. So
If it were, I'm voting Buffalo, no doubt about it. It's time for a legacy of failure to finally end for Buffalo. And for Jim Kelly to finally get at least some closure.
But on the other hand, it's also time for Kyle Shanahan's failure legacy to end. 28-3. He was the coach of the Falcons that year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Can't believe a lot of people forgot about that.
I know, because that thing became the subject of memes.
At least they're not Boston Bruin level memes.
Yeah. Boston Bruins are always the ultimate meme.
65 wins. Highest point total in history. President's Trophy winner. You couldn't put away Florida.
Yeah, you couldn't put away the Panthers. And look how that went. Vegas won their first Stanley Cup ever.
That was the Golden Knights.
Yeah, that's why I said Vegas.
Oh.
The Vegas won their first Stanley Cup ever, like in 5 years. That's got to be a new record.
That was 6.
Yeah, 6 years.
Anyway. I'm torn on this, but I'm going to say San Francisco.
I'm saying Buffalo.
Okay. And there you have it, folks. Our picks for the Super Bowl and our dissections of the Giants and Jets failures this year.
Yep.
Tune
it's already Black Monday.
Tune in this Friday when we return for our picks for the return of TNA Wrestling with Hard to Kill.
Yep.
Comments, like, and subscribe. MegaMets podcast out. Goodbye. Good fucking night. Bang. Later, Jose.
Later, mate.